Whistleblower who handed Hunter's abandoned laptop to Congressman and the DailyMail.com reveals he has 450 gigabytes of deleted material, including 80,000 images and videos, and has fled to Switzerland, fearing retaliation from the White House. Now, this is going to be a pretty interesting read, so if you like this sort of like daily news commentary, subscribe for more. So, the source who distributed Hunter Biden's laptop to congressmen and media has fled the U.S. to Switzerland, saying he fears retaliation from the Biden administration. Jack Maxey gave DailyMail.com a copy of the hard drive from Hunter's abandoned laptop in the spring of 2021. He also gave copies and material from it to the Washington Post, New York Times, and Senator Chuck Grassley in his role as ranking Republican on the Senate Judiciary Committee, but he claims they all sat on it for months, and not only that, the New York Times lied about it. Okay? So keep that in mind. So Maxey, a former co-host of ex-Donald Trump advisor Steve Bannon's podcast, The War Room, claims he and his colleagues have found 450 gigabytes of deleted material, including 80,000 images and videos, and more than 120,000 archived emails. He said he intends to post them all online in a searchable database in the coming weeks. Now, this is the crazy thing in it, right? Because if he does have this amount of content within this computer, right? If he has all this and is actually able to release it where anyone in the world can just go and look at it, this could be potentially really bad for Hunter Biden in terms of maybe a criminal case, but not only Hunter Biden, potentially even Joe Biden. So let's continue. So Hunter's laptop is brimming with evidence of apparent criminal activity by him and his associates, including drug trafficking and prostitution. And this photo of him grabbing an unidentified woman's hair was recovered from his laptop. So Hunter abandoned his laptop at a Delaware computer store in 2019. The owner, John Isaac, gave a copy to Trump's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, who passed it on to Maxey. I came here so that we could do a forensic examination of Hunter's laptop safely in a country that still respects human liberty and the ideals of liberal democratic principles, he told DailyMail.com. I do not believe this would have been possible inside the United States. We had numerous attempts on us from trying to do things like this there. Maxey said that after contacting DailyMail.com about the laptop last year, black suburban SUVs appeared outside his house, and former U.S. intelligence officer friends he shared copies with told him they received strange calls. I showed this to a friend of mine in desperation in February 2021 because nobody would listen to me. No news organizations would take it. In fact, the very first major news organization to take it was the Daily Mail, he said. Very dear friends of mine, the sharp tip of the spear, were making welfare calls to me every day, basically to see if I was still alive. Maxey claimed one former intelligence agency senior staff told him soon after he received the hard drive in 2020, if you don't release enough of this so that they know you can release all of it, I'm telling you, brother, you're a dead man. Maxey took their advice in October 20 and posted batches of emails and other files from the laptop on file sharing sites. But after about an hour, the links were taken down. Maxey said he believes the U.S. government was hunting down files from the laptop posted online and flagged them to the companies. There were 5 Dropboxes, 2 in the United States, 1 in New Zealand, 2 in the UK. All the same Dropboxes in which they tell us certain bad material is shared around the globe without any consequences because they can't look at it. These are all Five Eyes countries, English-speaking countries in an intelligence sharing agreement, and they were all ripped down. So this means that our intelligence services, who still have not even acknowledged that they have Hunter Biden's laptop, were obviously diligently doing cache searches across the internet to find out if any of this stuff was being released. That should terrify every single decent person in the West. DailyMail.com has been unable to verify the claims. So let's see. Emails between Hunter and Eric Schwerin, his business partner at consultancy Rosemont Seneca, show Schwerin was working on Joe's taxes, and the emails were recovered from Hunter's laptop. Your dad's Delaware tax refund came today. I am depositing it in his account and writing a check in that amount back to you since he owes it to you. Don't think I need to run it by him, but if you want to go ahead, if not, I will deposit tomorrow. Maxey says he has found blah, 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 blah. Maxey said one reason he chose Switzerland as a hideout was because the only file sharing site that did not take down the laptop files was Swiss Transfer, a file sharing service based in the historically politically neutral country. The former Bannon podcast co-host said he is livid at the FBI, who he believes slow-walked their investigation into Hunter and failed to enter the laptop they received from Mac Isaac into evidence for months. According to the New York Times, files from the laptop are now part of the evidence in Hunter's federal prosecution for alleged tax fraud, money laundering, and illegal foreign lobbying. Among the files on the laptops are a raft of emails and documents showing Hunter's dealings with Burisma, a Ukrainian gas firm that becomes the center of Trump's first impeachment in December 2019, and then the then president was accused of pushing Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to announce investigations into the Bidens and Burisma for alleged corruption. Maxey claims that had the FBI come forward in 2020 with the emails showing the details of Hunter's work for Burisma, Trump would have been vindicated. The FBI had this on the 9th of December 2019, he said. I suppose the first person betrayed was a sitting U.S. president in an impeachment hearing when the FBI had the exculpatory evidence in their hands to have that end instantly, and they did nothing. The second group of people to be betrayed were all the Democratic candidates in the spring primaries that year, he added. The American people were utterly betrayed because I guarantee you that Joe Biden couldn't run for dog catcher if the American people knew about this laptop. In emails from the hard drive, Hunter and his business partners make apparent references to Joe's involvement in a multi-million dollar deal with Chinese government-linked oil giant CEFC. Dear Lord, his teeth are messed up. So a shotgun photo obtained from Hunter's laptop shows his badly damaged and worn down teeth, also known as meth mouth, as he says in a dentist chair. Lord. So in October 2020, Maxey posted batches of... So one infamous May 2017 email by Hunter's partner, James Gilliard, he suggests 10% of the equity in the deal will go to the big guy, a phrase consistently used throughout Hunter's communications to refer to his father, allegedly. Other emails show that Joe and Hunter shared a bank account and paid each other's bills. Maxey also railed against the Senate Judiciary Committee and its GOP ranking member Chuck Grassley for failing to respond to his offer of the laptop last year. I have a lot of admiration for Chuck Grassley, or I did, Maxey said. I wrote a very reasoned, rational, and respectful letter to Chuck Grassley and delivered him a copy of the laptop that arrived on the 8th of July. I have the signed receipts. I had never heard a word back from the Senate Judiciary Committee, even once. Weeks before the New York Post first published material from the laptop in October 2020, Grassley co-wrote a report with Senator Ron Johnson publishing bank documents obtained by his committee evidencing millions of dollars sent by the Chinese to Hunter and his uncle, Joe's brother, Jim Biden. Grassley pointed to more documents showing the flow of funds from CEFC to Hunter and Jim in a speech to Congress this week, and Maxey also gave a copy of the hard drive to the Washington Post in June 2021. The paper took 9 months to authenticate it, publishing its first story announcing the validity of the laptop this week. The paper hired experts using similar techniques to the top cyber forensics experts DailyMail.com used to validate the laptop last spring. Maxey also gave hundreds of documents from the laptop to the New York Times, which finally admitted it was real in a story 2 weeks ago. He claimed that even Fox News, which has covered stories arising from the laptop extensively, declined to take a full copy of the hard drive from him, receiving only batches of certain documents instead. If you have an honest press who are willing to report the bad stories and uncover the corruption, then we as voters are more informed about who we should have in elected office. And they failed us miserably, Maxey said. Dun-dun-dun. So extracts from one email published show how Hunter Biden was to be paid $850,000 in part of his arrangement with a Chinese firm. And Jen Psaki basically put Hunter Biden's story is Russian disinfo, dozens of former Intel officials say, and this was like back then, back in 2020. So in the prior months, both newspapers prominently reported claims the laptop was Russian disinformation. More than 50 top former intelligence officials wrote an open letter casting doubt on the laptop's provenance in October 2020, claiming it has all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation. Signatories included former CIA directors or acting directors John Brennan, Leon Panetta, and General Michael Hayden, and former National Intelligence Director James Clapper. Which, by the way, probably all of these people need to be questioned about this. So they essentially declared, in their best opinion, you notice how they always use weasel words, that this is a fabrication of elves in the basement of the Kremlin, Maxey said. Still to this day, I can't understand how Panetta, Clapper, Hayden, and Brennan declared it to be a fabrication. Maxey believes the cover-up of Hunter's laptop is a bipartisan problem and said he wants to see an entire new Congress to investigate it in open hearings. We have an election coming up in the fall, and my prayer is that every member of the United States House and Senate who are running for office this year get replaced, Republicans and Democrats. We need to take back the country, he said. So authenticating the laptop, DailyMail.com commissioned cyber forensics experts at Merriman and Associates to examine the hard drive to determine its authenticity. The firm's founder, Brad Merriman, was a 29-year veteran of the FBI, served as a chief information security officer, and founded the Bureau's cyber forensics unit. His partner, Dr. Joseph Greenfield, is an associate professor at the University of Southern California and helped write their degree program in intelligence and cyber operations. After an extensive analysis of the hard drive, Greenfield and Merriman produced a report for DailyMail.com detailing their findings. Using the same forensic tools as federal and state law enforcement in criminal investigations, they found a total of 103,000 text messages, 154,000 emails, and more than 2,000 photos. They found emails for multiple accounts on the laptop dating back to 2009 and other data which appears to be related to Mr. Biden between 2016 and 2019. The report's findings were consistent with the known timeline for the hard drive. A Wellington, Delaware computer store work order with Hunter's signature shows he left his 2017 MacBook Pro laptop there on April 12, 2019. And the Merriman & Associates report said the original Macintosh HD drive was created on March 28, 2018, and Hunter's iCloud email address was added to the laptop system on October 21, 2018, as was his work email at his firm, Rosemont Seneca, on February 2, 2019. The same day, a Gmail address he used to log onto sex cam sites and another personal Gmail address belonging to Hunter were also added. Boo Biden's old Gmail account was added on February 7th, 2019. Emails addressed to Hunter's various email addresses dating from December 2009 to December 2020 were found on the system. An iPad with the name Hunter's iPad and 3 email addresses associated with the Biden family was backed up on the laptop and on iCloud in January 2019 and again a month later. Greenfield found 818 call logs in his iPad backup with timestamps from June 2016 to February 2019. There were 8,942 entries in the iPad's contacts book created between April 2016 and January 2019. In February 2019, an iPhone XS was also synced with the laptop. Its serial number was consistent with the timestamps of the data on the phone. In conclusion, the operating system timestamps appear to be authentic, and no evidence was found to suggest that the timestamps or data were altered or manufactured, the report said. No indications were found that would suggest that data was manufactured. I mean, that's pretty crazy when you really think about it. So let's look at some of these comments. Looking forward to more reviews from the laptop. I agree. This guy is my hero. Hunter Biden, a legend. Reps tied themselves in knots thinking about him and his mythical laptop. The Bidens are filthy. That one of them is president is a disgrace and a shocking indictment on American voters unless he really did steal. Dun, dun, dun. Compared to Hunter Biden, Ron Jeremy seems like Reverend Billy Graham. Hunter is the black sheep of the Biden family. That's like being the most inebriated college student on spring break. It's a BFD. Go Hunter, we love you. We love the fact that your existence annoys reps. Run for president. What a sick individual, both of you. Both, I'm just one. Bad accident will happen soon, just watch. He loves the attention. What a putz. This man is vile, but he didn't get this way completely on his own. Inheriting Biden's poor quality genetics and upbringing likely played a role. From his slimy, lecherous old man. I'm still in disbelief how the media managed to bury this story to save Joe's campaign pre-election. Imagine if it were Trump's son's laptop during the 2016 election. Imagine for a moment how would coverage and attention differ if this was a Trump. I mean, that is very true, right? It would be crazy. So pictures give no evidence of Hunter's laptop, and Republicans have been spreading their big lie for too many years. Show me the evidence. Well, if Hunter is in the picture, I'll really call your eye doctor. Wow. So according to web sleuth sites, what was found on H's laptop went far beyond the consenting relationship between Hunter and his then 9-year-old niece. At the web sleuthing sites, there are descriptions of what was found, hundreds of thousands of photos of H with girls from about the age of basically young. Claims in some of the captions that they're okay. So many of these children have been disappeared by Hunter. Okay. I don't know if any of that is true, but there's a lot of material on that laptop apparently. But even this scandal, as huge as it is, does not top the Dumbo Craps did to Trump to attempt to prevent him from winning the election, and after he won, to attempt to oust him from the office. Bum, 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 bum. So he has withheld all this evidence. Why? He didn't withhold it. He gave copies of the hard drive to numerous people. They didn't do much with it, though Daily Mail does deserve a lot of credit for publishing some of it. Now it appears Maxey has had enough and he's going to release all of it. Who cares what is on his laptop? He does not work for the president. You missed the point, Dole. If Joe used his influence when in office to get Hunter all the lucrative deals and benefited personally from it, he is engaging in influence peddling and potential money laundering. Just publish it all. I agree with this one, right? Like, here's the thing. Because of how big of a situation this laptop actually is, every single bit of information or thing that is within this laptop needs to be publicly available so everyone can see what was going on. Let's see. So rule number one, all prominent politicians are scum. Rule number two, all relatives of said prominent politicians are scum. No exception. So Hunter's laptop was bad enough as it was. I'm wondering what was on there that he felt it necessary to delete. I'll go with the really incriminating evidence. Who else is in those deleted photos, videos, and why won't Fox News accept a copy of the entire recovered hard drive? Why won't any of the main news agencies touch this? New York Times, Wall Street Journal, ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC. Why are we not hearing this from the DOJ instead of this poor guy? I don't think he's safe even in Switzerland. May God keep him safe. So the IT geeks who repair laptops are hardly shocked by and do not care about finding nude pics of your girlfriend or male selfies with or without pecker. The images they found on Hunter Biden's laptop were so horrific that they were an affront to conscience and necessitated the laptop repairman to contact the FBI immediately. Crazy. Feel free to give your thoughts about this. I think, again, this potentially, depending on what's actually on it, could be really bad for Hunter Biden in a criminal situation and potentially even Joe Biden. It all depends on what's actually released on this whole thing. By the way, if you want to learn how to get out of debt and manage your money, go to 40inbox.com. Hit the like button if you like this sort of stuff. If you want to pay attention to, I guess, more news commentary, we do this basically every single day. So stay tuned for more.